Hi friends, Terry Runyan here, visual artist and creative encourager. And I've been having a conversation with some creative friends of mine. And what's coming up in the conversation is a lot of personal stories about what happened with us as youngsters or maybe later in life, being told that we'll never make a living as an artist or a creative person, that we need to find a more practical career direction. And I also went through this, and I had personally a lot of fears around this. A lot of fears about whether I'm good enough, a lot of fears around whether people would like what I did. I didn't even know if I could do what I thought I might want to do. As a matter of fact, I really struggled with even feeling like I was an artist. And recently I've come to understand a little bigger picture around all of these ideas about who we are, who we've been, what our past has been, and how that affects our lives now. And a lot of these stories and fears feel very real. We feel them in the moment. When we're thinking about them, they really feel like they're impacting us. Or maybe it's a subconscious thing where you just don't feel like you can move forward because of imposter syndrome or the inner critic, or feeling like you're being held back somehow by something that's going on and maybe you're not even aware of what it is. So what I wanted to talk to you about is this understanding that has helped me tremendously in my creativity and my moving forward with art, and not being stopped by all the old voices and stories that convinced me somehow that I'm not an artist, that I'm not a creative person. This understanding has to do with a sense of a bigger picture of who we are. It starts with a sense of knowing our innate well-being, of knowing our innate creativity. I want you guys to ask yourself a question, and go ahead and pause this video after I ask this question and jot down your answer, and then we'll come back and do another question. It's a very simple question, and that is, what do you do to help you relax? So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go answer that question, and then after you answer it, come back and turn this video back on. So now you're back with your answer. You got an idea about what it is you do to relax, and that will be infinite numbers of ideas that come to different people. And I want you now to ask yourself, what is the experience of that when you're relaxed? How does it feel? What's your experience? And I want you to look at that and jot a few ideas down now. Okay, so you're back with that, and you have your list of feelings that you have when you're doing this thing that helps you relax, or you're being with this thing that helps you relax. And I want you to think of these experiences, the sense you have when you're relaxing, whether it's, I just feel at peace, I feel excited, I enjoy life, I feel warm, I feel centered, I feel creative, I feel well. So the word well-being will be the word I'm using to describe all the different variations on this feeling we have when we're doing something that helps us relax. As you look at that well-being, that experience for you, this is the thing that I'm pointing at as being our nature, as being the truth of who we are. That is the resting place, that is who you are. And then we have all kinds of thinking that comes up. And the thing about thinking is, when we're thinking, we're experiencing whatever it is we're thinking, particularly if we believe in what we're thinking. So when you have a thought, you may not even know you're having a thought, you'll feel something. Like if I start thinking about my past when I was not encouraged to do my art, or told I wasn't good enough, or whatever it was that you experienced that made you feel as though you couldn't move forward with your art. When you think about that thing, notice how you feel. There's a feeling of being compressed. Maybe there's a feeling of hopelessness, of some sort of despair, of you can't do this, something that's kind of like keeping you from this other feeling you had with well-being, this other feeling where you're just relaxed, you're okay in your own skin, you're at peace with yourself, you're at peace with the world. And Those two things help you to see that in the relaxed state, we're not thinking about things. In the relaxed state, we are going to a place that helps us to get out of our thinking. Some people use their creativity to get out of their thinking. Some people can not be caught up in a lot of dialogue around their art. That wasn't how I used to be. I was very caught up in all my dialogue around my art. But now what's happened that's different is I see it happening. I see that who I am is this relaxed, having fun, life is good kind of a person. That is my nature. That is my well-being. And then thoughts come that are contrary to that, but I realize they aren't me. I don't believe them as they come now. I can have stories come up around my past, and I realize those things are also not saying anything about the truth of who I am, about my innate well-being. And knowing that has made all the difference in my creativity and life. What happens when we realize that is the thinking doesn't have the same kind of convincing power it once had. We start to see it as what it is. It's fleeting thoughts going by. It's clouds in the sky, waves on the ocean. It's a thing moving through your well-being, but it's not you. I'm not going to keep belaboring this point because I do want to create a piece of artwork. And today is Thing on Thing Day, as well as Mother Goose Day in the Daily Creating Group. So I'm going to create a goose and I'm going to put something on it. And you could probably guess what that might be. But in case you can't, here's my sketch. Okay, so now you know. I'm going to leave the white shape of the goose in my watercolor painting and then come back in with the details. So I'm going to get started with that now. Okay, I've got the primary goose shape here, and I'm gonna start on my cat shape. That's also gonna be watercolor. Need my trusty glasses at this point, and let's get back to it. Okay, Mother Goose is done. Cat is also done. This cat does not look happy at all, but that's pretty typical for cats. I threw a couple extra birds in there and it felt like it needed a little foliage in order to finish it up. So back to this conversation around experiences from the past and how they kind of cloud how we're moving forward in the moment with our creativity. And reflecting back on that feeling you get, that sense of what we're calling well-being. So as I was working on this piece of artwork, I had all kinds of thoughts coming up that this was a mess, that I really wasn't doing a very good job at this. Who do I think I am even creating this video? It's just lots of silly stuff that comes into my head. And I remember that no matter what is flying through my head, I have this innate well-being, this innate creativity that is my resting point, no matter what seems to be going through. And it helps me to not get so caught up in that stuff. Right now, those are memories, they're thoughts. They aren't our in-the-moment experience. Our in-the-moment experience is fresh and new. We can realize that our relaxed state, our well-being is with us always. And that when these thoughts come up, we can watch them come and go. We don't have to engage with them. We don't have to try to get rid of them. They're fleeting, and they really don't say anything about who we truly are, who we are in our well-being in this moment. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please write them below. I respond to all the comments here. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. You could share it with any friends you think might be interested, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And until we meet again, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.